Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So we're heading down to the Vineyard today with this gorgeous kit from Planners Anonymous. So let's go ahead and jump to it. Okay, so we're going to be using Vineyard this week, and I really want to use this kind of stamp here, and I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work, but we're going to have a go. So I'm going to take off my Labor Day sticker first because it's going to be in the way of where I want to put my stamps. A couple of drops of undo. I'm just going to put that off to the side for now. We can start working on the actual thing. So we're going to grab the stamp set out. Now I could watercolour this, or I wouldn't Copic colour it because it'll go straight through, but I think I'm going to try some Tombos and I'm not very good at using the Tombos to blend, so I'm going to give them a shot on here. So I'm just going to start off by stamping this out in Memento ink, and I'm going to go off the page. Before I do that, I'm just going to get this out, and this has got a hole in it already because I'm using it to make my flipper, which I'm going to do in a sec. No, that'll be fine. So, I'm just going to line this up on here. Doesn't matter if it goes over the holes. And I'm just going to stamp this all down the side, kind of joining it up along the way. I'm just sort of manipulating the design a little bit just to make it look continuous. And then I'm just grabbing my cloth every once in a while just to clean that off so I don't get any ink on the back, because I hate getting ink on the back. Doesn't have to go like fully joining up, and if it doesn't, I'll add in another leaf here or there. Then what we'll do is we'll grab, there's a single leaf in here as well, so if I use that, there's just a couple little spots that it's sort of missing, looks like it's missing a leaf, so I'm just going to add that in. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and colour these in with my Tombos. I'm just going to do them in green. There's nothing too fancy to any of this, but I am going to grab the artwork from it and try and match the green a little bit. I'm going to use, that's 177 as the dark colour. That's way too bright. And this one is 098. So I'm just going to start off. I might actually have two different coloured leaves because otherwise it might look a little bit too pale. So I'm just going to start off in the middle of the leaf. And then with the lighter colour, very similar to how I blend with my Copics, I'm just going to try and blend this together. Now I'm not using blending paper, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not going through either. I don't want to go too heavy and make this go through the page. So, and this has always been my problem with Tombos, is I can't make them blend the way I can make Copics blend. So what I might do is, instead of doing two different colours, I might do 3 different shades here, because that's that really vibrant green, isn't it? Yeah. I'm going to do 3 different shades here and just alternate between the 3 to colour in the leaves. I'm going to do it super fast, and I'll be right back. So obviously went ahead and did the left-hand side as well. I just figured I'd knock it all out while I was going. I love that so much. It's very, very pretty. And then to kind of bring in some more of the colour, I'm going to grab this sort of cheese board style washi. I'm going to have it on, I kind of want to have it on the top and the bottom, but I think I'll just do the, I might have Friday down a bit lower and have this along the top and then have the other washi along the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'll white out March and white out Friday as well, just so that it doesn't pop up from behind. And then all I'll do is I'll make sure that this doesn't cover over my vines, because I want my vines to be on the outside. But I'll also make sure that, come up gently, thank you. I want the cheers to you part to be sort of right on the edge of the vines, because I'm going to cut it there. And that'll also basically finish right there on the corked one. Go, cut that. So this side, with the cheers to you bit, I think I'll just cut it, I just want to tear it roughly, just so it looks a little bit more rustic, if that's kind of what there we go, that's what I wanted. So it kind of looks like the vines are over the top, and then obviously we'll just trim this next bit off. And do the same thing on the other side, but I'm going to do the bottom washi first and do the exact same thing. So just line that up right along the bottom, trim this, tear this roughly on one edge, and then straight on the other. And then I'll go ahead and do the same on the other side. Oh, I love the colours in this kit so much. There's something I don't like about that, but I'm going to just get over it because it's not that big of a deal. And I deliberately made sure that there were different ones the whole way along the top. So this one's got the Have a Good a Day and the Vineyard Zone at the top. Alright, so the next thing to do is put the days of the week back in. I'm going to put them exactly where I guess they are now. I'm just checking what the colour choices are. So that's got all the colours. I knew I got it out. The other one's got, I've got the wine. I think I want to do all the colours. I think all the colours will look better than just the single colours. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and do these, put the colours down and put the date dots back in, and I'll be right back. So I have all of my days of the week in. I'm just rubbing off a couple of these little notes that I've made in pencil, just so that they're gone. I do have a couple of ink marks, which I'll cover up as we go along. So the next thing I'm going to do is make my flipper, because then I can work out everything else. Now you guys saw when I did the walkthrough of this box that I had a genius idea for this. I don't know if it's genius. I think that might be going a bit far, but it's definitely using the papers, which I'm not the best at. I do tend to hoard them a little bit. So I'm grabbing this die. I'm not going to use it, but I'm just going to use it to sort of guide me about my placement here. So this is the same size or a little bit smaller than my page, so I know it's going to fit. So you guys know I have a tendency to, forget how big my page is. So I'm just using this to kind of guide where I want to make where I want my flipper to be. I'm just grabbing this pencil and just marking sort of around it. Then I'm going to get my paper trimmer in. Might actually have to put a little bit more of a line here, just so I can get the whole way. Marking that so that I can see where that's. So now it's going to sit. I need to decide very quickly which way this is going to sit. It's going to sit on that side, so I'm going to have a tab on this side. Line that up, so I'm just doing it just the other side of the line. Go. And I can trim this next bit. So thankfully that's the line sort of easy to line up here because it's down the end. So it's going to sit there. So I need to give that about that much more room. I'm really worried that I'm going to rub this out in a minute and it's going to be in the wrong spot. But anyway, we'll give it a go. So I'm just lining that up right with the line, so it's giving me sort of that extra little bit. Same on the top. I'll panic about that other line in a sec. Okay. So it'll have a tab thing punched in a minute. I have to do this next bit first. So I'm grabbing a craft mat in because we're going to do some cutting. So I want to make it so the door opens. That's the idea here. So I'm just grabbing my craft knife. So it needs to open. So it needs to come up and around and just needs to stay not cut off there. Okay. So because this is not a straight line, it's sort of a bit wobbly, I'm going to go freehand. Oh man, that's scary. So leaving that bit, and then we're going to go, this is the part that I'm scared of because I'm really bad at curves. So I'm just going to shush so I can concentrate. These are going to open to be proper doors. So I'm going to grab a scoring tool because I want to be able to make these lines exactly where I want them. Just grab that ruler. Actually, I'm going to go freehand again. I'm just going to score right along that line. It doesn't need to be straight, it just needs to fold open. There we go. And do the same thing over here. So it doesn't need to be perfect, it's just a line to fold on. And there we have a little door that'll open up. And I know you're sitting there going, okay, yeah, but it doesn't actually open up to anything. I'm also just going to try and rub this pencil off while I'm here. Sometimes I find papers, like printed papers, when you rub pencil off, it brings up the colour. It's one of my favourite things about Planners Anonymous. It doesn't do that. Or at least it hasn't in the past, but I was always a little nervous. So then we're going to grab out this gorgeous piece of paper and I'm going to line up where I want this door to open up to. So I want the scene behind it that I want, which is right there. So I'm going to use some of my offcuts of my washi and stick this down. So I know that's right. And I'm going to cut this out. I'm actually going to stick that down even better. I do not want these two pieces of paper to come apart. They need to be perfect or it'll all end up looking a little silly. So I'm just using a bunch of my washi scraps here just to stick these two together. And I'm going to bring back my paper trimmer and trim these up. I'm trying to decide, I want to keep that, so I'm going that way. I'm going to do the same thing this way. Cut the bottom off. I'm very nervous. I feel like I'm going to mess this up. Okay. Then we can get to sticking this down, and then the back is going to be where we're going to put the little pocket so I can put my footy details on. So the last thing we just need to do before we stick these, actually I'm going to stick it together now. So I'm going to just move that up, cover the back of this with glue tape. Just obviously making sure I don't hit where the doors are. I really should have used liquid glue for this, but anyway. Making that as straight as I can. Go. And just pushing that down, being careful not to get the door. And then we can take that washi off, which I'm just being really careful so I don't pull the paper apart. And all we can do is grab our tab punch board once this is off. Just an FYI, how good is that green? So grab the tab punch board. So I want the tab to sit that way. Is that straight or am I imagining things? That's not straight. Because I've got a little bit of room, you know, use words. going to fix that up because it's going to annoy me. There we go, that's better. So we'll punch that. This is where I get nervous again. Which way does the tab go? That way. There. There. I'm going to round off the corners as well so it all matches. And there we have our little flipper that opens up to that gorgeous little scene. But I just love it. It's so not anything I need to do, but goodness me, it just looks so super cool. All right, so I need to put that on the page. So it's gonna sit right there. I'm gonna mark out where I want my holes, making sure this is straight. I'm gonna put a quote in this corner because I know it's a little bit over to the, it's not quite centered. So I wanna make sure there's something in the corner that makes sense as to why it's sort of off that way. So hole punch these out. So it's gonna live there. Oh, I love that. So for the quote, I'm just looking at this and going, do I want to put, I kind of want to do two things. I want to grab this little one here that's the winery one and then put some leaves on it, but I don't know if that's not gonna quite work. So I'm gonna use one of these ones because I think it fits here. It just looks right. And it's gonna go over one of the holes, but that's all right. So I'm gonna put that there, and then I'm gonna put the quote that just says "time to wind down," because I just think it looks right there. Punch that other hole back out, which I know now it kind of ruins the look, but it'll be fine. And I'm just debating putting just a little thing of leaves down this, yeah, just to tie it all together. All right, that's all done. We need some more stickers to sort of balance all this out. I have been really hot, like really on the not using the boxes recently. I think I might do that again. I don't know, I'm just looking through here. This is the hardest part with Planners Anonymous. There's so many gorgeous stickers, I never know what to use. So if you wanted to do like a more distant one, that was kind of an idea I had as well, is putting the whole scene behind with the double stickers and being a little bit like further away. But I decided not to. I decided I wanted a bit more of a close-up look in there than a further away. But either or would be lovely. I'm just going to quickly grab the die cuts. I want to use the actual pocket this month. Just put this together. Actually, I'm having a think about it. I'm not sure if this pocket is the right thing to use because it might be too big. It might be too big for what I want to do. Although it does add a nice extra colour there. I know, that'll be fine. So I'm just going to put some glue tape all along this one. I've got to stop doing this on my mat. I say it every time and I still do. I'm not going to put my footy details in now. I'm going to do that later. But that's just going to sit on a little piece of paper in there. Nothing too fancy. But it's the pocket that's the cool, like the flipper itself with the opening doors that's the cool thing rather than the pocket on the back. So you guys don't need to see the actual footy details. Alright, so I need to put some decorative bits and pieces, don't I? Alright, so I have a few things. I have a couple of days off along the way. I'm having my hair cut on Thursday, so I'm going to put the girl with this little box. I'm just going to put it this way. I'm just seeing what other colours. No, that's the best one. So I'm going to put her in the corner, and then I'm just going to write in hair appointment. Put our Labor Day sticker back in. Just working out where I'm going to put it if it doesn't decide for me. I'm just going to put it straight under the other sticker because they're the same size. It actually looks it looks okay. I don't need any more quotes on here. I don't know why. I really don't want to use the cow. I don't know why. I'm going to put this one. Where's my little gym girl? She's red hair with green, so I'm going to use the purple Wednesday. Put this at the top. Just trying to do something different. I don't want to just put it. Let's go over there. Let's just cover up some of the bits. So we'll just put the little workout girl over there. All right. So then we just need to put in something over here to cover up bits and pieces, and then some decorative little bits. I really want to use this arbor, and I don't know why. So I think I'll put it. I'm gonna put it here. I'm actually going to use this as a bit of a to-do list or a happy. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just leave it there because it's pretty. And then put in 2 of the boxes. Boxes, but the 2 of these. 2 of them fit. I'm just really gently sitting that there. I'm not pushing down at all. Just seeing what having 2 of them there looks like. That's alright. So I'm putting these 2 in just as close as I can. And we'll put the little male boy over here and just have happy mail. Part of me wants to stick, oh, I don't know if I can do that. So this little mini, oh, that looks so cute. She just looks adorable sticking out her head out from behind that arbor. I don't know why, that's just so gorgeous, but it is. So I'm gonna put her there. I need to write happy mail in here. And this one's just gonna be to do. I'm gonna chuck in my, oh, I was gonna say I'm gonna chuck in my PA Live, but I don't know if it's gonna be on Monday because of Labor Day, so I'm just going to put it there and let's just see what happens. It's still missing stuff. I don't want to go over the top with the animals. I feel like that's just a little bit too much. So I'm just going to stick some of these decorative ones sort of around the place. So I'm not going to use any of the animals. No, I'm not. So I'm going to get another one of the vines, but I'm not. I'm going to put this over here. No, I'm not. Can sit there. I need to cover up some of these little boo-boos I've made. Put the wine ring right in the middle. Then just checking out the die cuts before I decide I want to stop. I'm just putting that there. I'm not actually sticking it down properly yet because I want to grab this one. I'm going to get the quote that says age only matters if you are a cheese. Just put that over the top. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. Now this is by no means the best I could do, but I really love those vines. I think they are just stunning. And I love the idea of then having this opening that sort of sends you down to more of the wineries. I just think that's really cool. The other thing you could do is you could put this in the middle and have that down the middle of your page and then have it opening up. But I think this is a much easier way and just something different. I know I haven't done one like that before that opens up like that, whereas I know I've done one of the ones that opens like that. So let me know what you think. Do you like this one? Did I go over the top with the colouring? I'm sort of thinking maybe I did, but at the same time I really like it. I think that's a really cool kind of thing to do, and I could have gone a lot crazier. I could have pulled that right out, but I really like the way that that's all set up. As per usual, there's always going to be a couple of other stickers that I add in along the way, but at least for now I think this looks really cool. Let me know what you think, leave it down below, or you can find me on any of my socials. Hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic week, whatever you're doing, and I will see you again in my next video. Sending lots of huggles. Bye!